Hello, my beautiful friends. Good morning. It is a beautiful morning here. It's so bright and sunny, and it's been the harvest moon season, which it's a glorious, glorious moon. If you've been out and been able to see it, it's been gorgeous. And the thing about the harvest moon, and all full moons really, is that a full moon is a completion of a cycle, right? So the new moon starts and then it grows into that full moon, and that we have that full moon energy. The tides change, and I don't know a whole lot about moonology or even how tides work, but I do know that full moons often signify, at least spiritually, in the Celtic tradition, will signify completion of a cycle. So I've been thinking about completions of a cycle and how things begin, and then how things transition and how they move on. And as we approach the Celtic New Year at Samhain, we think about what we've completed and where we're going, where we're headed, and the path that we are meant to take. So, I talk about this all the time. We have our spiritual team, whoever that might be for you. For me, it's Jesus and Mary, and St. Bridget, and St. Columba, and St. Patrick, and St. Teresa Lisieux, and Archangel Michael, and my spirit guide, Seth and Adam. That's my spiritual team. And then, I have my crew in real life, like my crew that I entrust. All my, earthly feelings, of course, that's my husband, and my best friend Liz, and my best workmate Chris. They're the people that I'm super close to, here in the physical space. And and the runes that I read, people read cards, they read tarot, they read oracle cards, and they find meaning and they find guidance. And I think anything that you do that helps you bring meaning and helps you think about your path and where you're headed and where, things that you should consider, I think all of that is really worthwhile. And as we think about completing a cycle and maybe starting a new one, it's great to rely on your team, for help and guidance. So we're going to pull a rune today. So let's do that. So if you're new to the channel, this is my rune bag. These are runes that I got when I was in Scotland. And I have some stones that I kind of set out to help me with my intention. And the first stone, which is actually the newest stone in this bag, I call it the Mary stone, but it's not for Mother Mary. It's for my friend Mary, who passed away too young from cancer. And she loved Halloween. She loved the Samhain season. And a bunch of her friends, her closest friends, got this exact tattoo before this arrived. And this arrived in one of the subscription boxes that I get. And so I just, I feel like this is Mary's stone. So I keep it with my stones. And it's just, this beautiful little stone. So, and that just reminds me that our friends, our friends who have left this physical world, have not left us, because they live in our memory. And in that same bag, I have a seal that came on something from a group of women that I used to, hang out with here on YouTube. And just reminds me of, friends near and far. So, so we have that stone and that seal. And then we have some pieces of marble that come from Scotland, and in the Hebrides, the Hebridean Islands, which I love so much. We have a green man stone. You really can't see the detail, but hopefully you can see his face in there, just to remind me that we're connected to the natural world. This is a stone from Iona that I bought in the gift shop, that somebody else had picked, just as a reminder that we should support local communities and their crafts. I picked my own stone when I was there, so this is the one that I picked. And I have a St. Bridget's.
Where's the keys of Mercury?
What?
There's the door outside of the street.
Oh, sorry about that. My husband has to move the car. So this is St. Bridget's cross, and St. Bridget is one of my patron saints, probably my chief patron saint. And I have another piece of marble, and then I have a stone from Iceland that my boss brought back for me, and it's a place I've never been but want to go. So I have that stone too. I have some other stones to add to this. I have a stone from Ireland that my friend Chris brought me that I need to add to this bag, but the bag has a hole in it, and I think I'm going to need a new bag soon. But I like this bag because I have little things hanging off of it, and so we're going to pick one stone for whatever energy we should think about today, and then we'll pull some cards and see what Spirit has to say. So this message may not resonate with you, may not resonate with me. If it doesn't resonate with you, just leave it there and somebody else can pick it up. Runes are, they're not predictive, right? This isn't fortune telling. Nobody can predict the future. These are just, this is just a way to meditate, reflect, and think about something that might be going on in your life. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Oh, I forgot to pull my little angel out. I have a little angel that represents Archangel Michael, who is Archangel Michael. He's our spiritual protector. So let's see what stone Spirit has for us. And I kind of just feel around in my bag until one kind of sticks in my hand or sticks in my fingers, or, one will just grab my attention at some point. There we go. We have Jera. I don't know if you can see. So Jera means cycle, right? I'm always reminded that those are the symbols in programming, right? The brackets we use to start and finish code. And if you know anything about programming, you have to write it very specifically so that the program that you're creating starts and stops. And if you don't have the right kind of brackets, the program will go on forever. Right. And isn't that true in our lives too? Like we have, some journeys are short, some journeys are long, but you have the start of the trail, you have the end of the trail, you have the start of the code, you have the end of the code, and whatever happens in there. Some things are within your control. Some things are not within your control. Things that happen, or the way things go. But Jera is about completion of a cycle and how appropriate when thinking about the full moon. But I have a book here where I write all my little notes that I have for all the different stones. And Jera means year, cycle. So cycle, completion, changes, harvest, reaping rewards, reap what you sow, good or bad. The good or bad reward that you deserve. You're coming into something better, a new beginning. Fertile season, prosperity and success. Act with wisdom. Store energy for the winter of life. Completion of a cycle or project. Represents all 4 seasons. Don't expect fast results. Trust time. You can't make a river run faster. So, what an amazing message. I mean, I love that idea that you can't make a river run faster. Don't we always try, to get, things to go? But we have to take the time that whatever we're doing requires, right? And if you have changes going on in your life, a lot of us have significant change going on in our life, whether it's, a new relationship or a new job or the ending of a job or a birth of a child or whatever, right? There's always change afoot. But how you embrace that change is really what will help you on the path. So yesterday, the card said, go with the flow, just go with the flow. It's all right. Whatever's happening is going to be all right, whatever that might be. And today we're having confirmation of that, right? That something has completed, and now you're going to move into something better. And my college roommate always says this. I don't remember how she says it, but people are in your life for a reason or a season or something like that. And it's true about like space and time too. With maybe you're on a committee at I don't know, the local club, right? You're on a committee, and your time has come to an end, and now you're no longer, you're not as passionate about it, or you're not as committed to it, and you want to do something else, right? It's okay. It's okay to say, like, I have done what I can do here, and I'm ready to move on. Sometimes you don't get the choice. Like, somebody makes the choice for you and says, well, I don't want to be in a relationship with you, or we no longer have a position for you, or whatever, right? So that can happen in relationships, and it can happen, in community groups, and it can happen at the Red Cross. It can happen in your job. It can happen wherever. And you just have to go with the flow and know that when one door opens or one door closes, another one opens, right? And to be hopeful, right? And change is good. Sometimes change is good. You might not feel that, and sometimes you don't see the bigger picture, right? You don't see what spirit has in mind for you, but there's a bigger picture out there that we're not aware of. All right, so now we read some oracle cards to see if spirit has anything that they want to say through the cards. I use 2 decks predominantly. I have other decks, but these are the 2 that I love the most. This is Celtic Spirit. And what I do is I shuffle 3 times, and then I knock 3 times, and I blow energy in 3 times, and then I deal 3 times. And whatever comes out, we keep and we consider. And then if nothing comes out, that just means that spirit didn't want to use these cards as a vehicle to communicate with us. So let's do that. That's shuffle 1, and that's shuffle 2. And we're going on shuffle 3. I have to be careful not to do it on my laptop. I did that the other day, and it stopped my recording. But then I picked the same stone the second time I did the video. Okay, now we shuffle 3 times, or we deal 3 times, and we just see what comes out. Pass 1. Pass 2. That one flew on the floor. Must be important. And pass 3. Wow, a lot of cards came out. Let me grab the one that fell on the floor. If they come out in groups, I read them together, because I think they're meant to be together. I'm going to read this one that fell on the floor, because it's like spirit wanted to get my attention on this one. This is the Maiden. Innocence, love, and past. Not exactly what this card means in relation to the reading. I'm not getting a sense of what I think it means yet, so maybe it's combined with some of these other cards. Right, we have the Gatekeeper. Power and abundance. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck, because there's this dragon eye, and if you can't really see it, but there's it almost looks like a person standing in there, and it's guarding the treasure outside. And it's keeping a watchful eye on resources and the things that are important to you. And it's that you have the power to keep an eye on things, that you have wealth to watch, whatever that wealth is, whether it's friendships, relationships. So you have abundance, and whatever your journey, whatever you're going through in your journey, you have protection. And I think this card, the Innocence card, might mean that the transition that you're making, you were meant to learn a lesson, that you came into it with an innocent, outlook. You were blindsided maybe by something that you weren't expecting, because in the past you hadn't been blindsided by that kind of energy, and now in this new reality, there's a new kind of energy that you weren't expecting. And even given your loving spirit, and your kindness, and your generosity, and your enthusiasm, and your good nature, you were innocent, and things are changing. Either somebody took advantage of that, or somebody misconstrued it, or whatever, right? But you're protected. You're protected, and now you're wiser. You've learned some lessons, and you're ready to move on, but you're protected, and it's going to be okay. This journey is going to be okay. Right, these 2 came out together. We have the Shaman Spiral. and Step Out. These are also, I love this deck, so they're all my favorite cards. But Step Out is Hidden Courage Camouflage. So if you're, if you're starting a new journey and you're kind of afraid, you think that, maybe this isn't for you or this is for you, you're not really sure, the Spirit's saying it's okay. You can step out. You can, you just need courage, and you don't have to hide. You can be your authentic self. You can be the person you are. You don't have to apologize for that. Not everybody's going to love you. Not everybody loves me. And some people who don't love you will wish you harm, and they'll do things actively to harm you, whether it's, hopefully not physically, but, to harm your reputation or to harm whatever, they'll talk trash about you with your friends or whatever they're going to do, right? You don't have to hide behind that. You can be your authentic self. You can walk the journey that you're meant to walk. And, in the shaman spiral, it's about awareness, practice, and connection. It's like she's got the walking stick. So he's stepping out and then she's walking, and you have this connection to divine power. You have this connection to your higher self. If you're not Christian, and you believe in other gods and goddesses, or, if you don't believe in anything, right? You have your higher self in yourself. But, the first step is stepping out, and then you have to walk, and you can use a walking stick. Wisdom brings that, you're not this innocent, doughy-eyed thing. You now know that you need the walking stick, right? And, but you're protected. The journey is protected. And then the last card that came out was the White Stag, shape-shifting support in Otherworld. So again, you have this support for this new journey, whatever you're on, in this new moon. If you like Duran Duran, one of my favorite bands from when I was a teenager, new moon on Monday, it's coming, right? You have a new start. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to, what are you going to manifest with it? So those are beautiful cards that absolutely go with our Jera Stone. What a great reading so far. Change is scary, right? Change is scary. The endings of things are scary. My mom was married twice, and her first husband, she was married very young, and her first husband did not treat her well. And she said, it was hard to leave him. She knew she had to. He physically harmed her, and she knew she had to, but it was so hard. She had nowhere to go. Her parents wouldn't help her. And she was young, and she had 2 kids, and she, and it took the help of her neighbor to help her to step out and move away. And then she later met my dad, and then then we arrived, and it takes that first step, and sometimes that's hard because you're stepping into the unknown. But Spirit's saying it's okay. It's okay. Whatever it's going to be okay. You have a new beginning. A new chapter is starting. Something new and exciting is coming for you. And you can't help, you can't help what's in the past. You can't change it. If people have treated you poorly, you can't change that. If people think of you poorly, you often can't change that either. Because they're going to think what they're going to think, and they're going to report what they're going to report to other people. You have no control over what other people think or what other people do. And so it's best not to live in that energy, right? You're stepping out on a new path, and you're doing this for you. So that's where we go. Let's see if Spirit has anything to say. This deck of cards is called Earth Wisdom. It's also a Celtic deck. Do 3 passes. Pass 1. Pass 2. Make sure I didn't. I'm going to just start this pass again because I wasn't paying attention. I was worried that I turned off the recorder like I did the other day. Okay, nothing on a 3rd pass. All right. The first 2 that came out together were heart healing. We had this just the other day, and communication. So in this new journey, your feelings may have been hurt, or maybe they are hurt. And you feel a way. Everybody feels a way when there's change. Your kids grow up. My kids are both 23 right now, and I look at them and I see them as 4-year-olds, and I'm like, oh, how did that happen? How did they get to be so old? Your heart, you feel things, and you have to give yourself time. Like, look, she's giving herself time. She's giving herself time to get rejuvenated with water and to refresh herself and to heal from the inside. If you've ever had a wound, I had surgery not too long ago. I had to pack the wound every day because you have to heal the wound from the inside. Otherwise, it'll just fill up with something. Your body, if there's a hole, it's going to fill up with something. So you got to prevent that. And that's true of our heart too. We have to heal our hearts, and acknowledge and accept that, the change is happening. Maybe this isn't the way we wanted it to go. Maybe we wanted to be in this relationship. Maybe we wanted to be in this friendship. Maybe we wanted to do this thing and now we can't, or we shouldn't. And, it doesn't go as planned. And that hurts, right? Take the time to heal from that. And the best way that you can do it is through communication, with your spirit team and your people here in the physical world, people that you can rely on. We talked about Anam Karas in the last video, right? Who's your soul team? Who can you really, really talk to? I'm, uh, you know, who are your people, right? And notice she's actually talking to the spirit world, right? Just whether it's through journaling, or if you're afraid that people are going to read your journal, write it out and burn it, whatever. Get the thoughts out of your head so that you can heal. Communicate it out so that you're able to heal. And then the other card that came out is Divine Love. And this is what we started with, right? You're protected. You are loved. You are, this journey that you're on, you were meant to learn a lesson and you're meant to move on. You're meant to do something different, be with someone else, do something else, right? This journey is a door has closed. It's fine. A new door is opening. And once we allow that door to open, all kinds of beautiful things all kinds of sunshine, all kinds of opportunities are going to stream through. So that's the message for today. I am wishing you all the very best and brightest. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, be well. Bye-bye.